This week I'm driving the Kia K5 Gt-Line 2021. This brand new sedan is taking the place of the Kia Optima. So it's a mid-size sedan with a brand new look and a brand new attitude. As you can see, really aggressive front end, really aggressive grille, really modern look, I could say. Those headlights are pretty aggressive also. I really like those marker light and amber lightning. It's a really signature look, so you can recognize easily this Kia on the road. If we step on the side of this Kia K5, you can see the line of this sedan. It's not the typical sedan look. It's really more like a coupe, a little bit like the Stinger. It's more aerodynamic, it's more pleasing to the eye. I really like that look. Once again, in the back of this K5, you got a really small spoiler because this one's a GT line. Really sleek, and rear tail light. You got some fake dual exhaust in the back, but overall it's a pretty exciting sedan. If we're looking at the competitor, like the Camry, the Altima, or the Malibu, this one, it's way much more exciting. If we take a look at the trunk, we got some decent amount of space inside of this trunk. Actually, you can get up to 434 liters of space in this trunk. So it's pretty decent for this mid-size sedan. Under the hood of this Kia K5, we can find a 4-cylinder 1.6 liter turbo, good for 180 horsepower and 195 foot-pounds of torque. This engine is matched to a 8-speed automatic transmission. Not a lot of horsepower underneath this all-wheel drive model. If you need more horsepower, you can consider the GT model, who's got 290 horsepower, so you get a little bit more punch under the hood. Price-wise, the Kia K5 starts around $31,460 Canadian. If you want a base GT line, it's around $37,860. And the model I'm testing this week, it's around $38,110 Canadian. Behind the wheel of the Kia K5, I was pretty surprised this week about this car. It's a pretty decent mid-size sedan, I could say. So it's a winter test, I could say, this week. Testing the all-wheel drive, the winter conditions, and all that. The all-wheel drive is pretty decent on this car. It's not a Subaru or a Quattro, I could say, but at least it's not a basic all-wheel drive like a front-wheel drive, and it's going to put some power in the back. You still have some power going through all those wheels all the time, but obviously it's mainly a front-wheel drive. But it's pretty decent in winter condition. Power-wise, I wish we had a little bit more horsepower under the hood. Can't wait to drive the GT model. But for a daily driver and you need an all-wheel drive, you don't want an SUV, the K5 is a solid choice, I could say. I drove several competitors in this segment, like the Camry, the Altima, the Malibu, and all that. And this one, feels smaller, I could say, when you're driving it because of the hood. The hood really, it's really aerodynamic. You don't really see the hood while you're driving. The vision is a little bit restricted in the back because of the shape of this car, because it's more like a coupe than a sedan. But overall, I like the shape of this car. It's really aerodynamic, it's really aggressive. I think this K5 doesn't look as boring as the other competitor. It feels more aggressive, it feels more fun. On the road, it's pretty comfortable. You get some good seats also. The ride is good. Nothing to complain there. Interior-wise, you have a really nice interior. It's probably the best if you're looking at the other, competitor, like the boring Toyota Camry and the Altima and the Malibu. This interior, it's way better than these competitor. You have a U-screen, you have some wood trimming, there's a lot of space to store your stuff. You got a special place to put your phone and recharge it wirelessly. You really have to slide it in, and your phone is locked there. It's really easy to access your phone. I really like the emplacement of this wireless charging port, I could say. Again, it's really easy also to put your heated and cool seats. It's only one switch. Just next to it you have your heated steering wheel and your drive mode. So once you put it in the sport, and also it's smart and custom, and also there's snow. In sport mode, the car has become a little bit more aggressive, you know, engine wise, shifting wise, and also the steering wheels become a little bit stiffer. But again, nothing to be like a sport sedan here. You don't have a lot of horsepower under the hood. Acceleration wise, it was kind of slow, you know. The engine is kind of a little bit too small for my point of view, for, you know, the size of this car, and also with the all-wheel drive system and all that. But the benefit of this engine, it's really on the fuel economy side. This week I was able to do 8 liters per 100 kilometers combined, so it's pretty good for the size of this car with an all-wheel drive. So you have to make a little bit sacrifice on the power, but you get, you know, some result at least on the fuel economy. So just a quick reminder, you know, I'm driving right now in winter conditions, so winter tires, you know, and all that. So I'm pretty sure during the summertime you're able to get better numbers than this. But still, you know, for the size, you know, of this car, 8 liters per 100 kilometers, it's pretty good, it's pretty decent. You have plenty of space in the back seat. Some of the competitors gonna offer you, you know, a little bit more space, but while you're driving those competitor sedan, they feel a bit bigger too. So I think this one, you know, it's easy to drive. You got plenty of space to bring adult in the back, and you have a decent amount of space in the trunk. All right, now let's test the acceleration. We'll see what this thing's got. Nothing to be impressed there, but you know, it's decent. You know, I wish it would be a little bit more aggressive off the line, but it's all right. You know, it's still a pretty small engine for, you know, the size of this car. All right, now let's test the handling of this car. You know, so far, you know, it's pretty decent. It's not like smooshy like a Toyota or a Nissan, but it's like this curve. You know, it's a bit more sportier, more aggressive than most of the other same car in the segment. You know, if I'm you know, remembering, you know, something like the Camry and all that, the Camry feels more comfortable, but when you really push it down the curve, it was a little bit more loose. This one, it's a little bit more tied up. But again, it's not something really aggressive. It's gonna beat you up, you know, down the road, because it's too sporty to drive it on a daily basis. So I think, you know, the handling really matched the look and the price of this car. You know, the K5 for the price under 40,000 Canadian, it's a solid choice. You've got tons of equipment, you got a solid look, solid interior, you've got a lot of options. You got the heated seats, heated steering wheel, you got a bunch of options like the cool and heated seats, leather seats, a big screen, you know, you got a cool design inside and out. So for the price, it's really hard to beat. Overall, I think the K5 is the coolest looking, the less boring, you know, a mid-size sedan in that segment. You know, if you're looking at something like the Malibu or even the Camry, I think these cars need to be a little bit more cooler, I could say. They feel really boring. You know, every time I drove these cars, I feel kind of like it's boring, and I'm going to work at the office with a really cheap suit with a cheap tie. That's how I feel when I drove those sedans. Inside of the K5, even if you know, I don't have a lot of power under the hood, at least, you know, inside of the car it feels cool. Outside of the car it feels also cool. I know this design is not for everyone, but I like it. I think this design, it feels modern and cool and aggressive, and I think Kia been doing a really good job on this side. So overall, you know, I think in this mid-size sedan segment, Kia is one of my top choice. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my video. Gonna see each other on next review.